Hey guys, and welcome back to the HobbyDude 007 channel. Back on our tiny Lund 69 Camaro for the Unified Scale Automotive Content Creators group build. We're moving right along on that. Honestly, since the last video, I haven't gotten much done, but just a little bit. But we're going to see what we can get done today and get closer and closer. You know, guys, the deadline for this build is March the 15th, and that's about 3 weeks away. And I'm trying to get it right to the point because we can't debut them until the 15th. But I do want to make sure I don't run into any issues. So we're going to be working on that today. So let's get to it.
Bring your model to life with MCV products. Visit them on the World Wide Web at mcvproducts.com.
Okay guys, don't know how much we're going to get done today. I am going to have to go back and do a little extra body work that I didn't plan on doing in this one, but that's okay. What we're going to have to do is where that buildup from some of these primer coats and sanding have kind of filled in the door jambs. As you can see, there's a couple of spots here that we're going to take our Tamiya panel line scriber, and we're going to go back through here where we've had that build up, because there is, man, I'm noticing some up here that I didn't see a while ago. But gonna have to go back through these door jambs again, and that won't take long. But I got a little ghosting that I did not see right here, and from sanding, you notice that body line here, I've kind of distorted it above where those gills were there. So I'm going to go back and reshape that, then I'll block that and bring that back. The other side looks pretty good. We still have our shape there. But these panel lines are the same. They've just got a buildup of primer, so we want to get those cleaned out again too. So we'll get that done, and I had planned on having, before this video, one of the color coats on there, the light, but I'm changing a direction on that, but we'll talk about that. The hood is still in its original automotive primer, and we're going to give it a good wet sanding down. We'll mask it off, and then we'll get our color coat, base coat on that anyway too. On to the suspension. I'm going to go ahead and clean this stuff up. You remember where we straightened those frame rails, added a fuel cell, all of this stuff from about right here back, totally new. So we're going to rework the suspension, and what I'll do is take pins, kind of like we did with some of the engine parts and stuff, and then we'll put the blocks back in, all of that stuff. We'll get those lined up and mounted. Then we're going to have to go back and we're going to do a little bit of modifications, a little bit of narrowing on this rear end for these wider tires. As I test fit some of that stuff, that's going to have to be narrowed a little bit. I did not notice that little chunk right there. I'll check on that. I got more tires anyway, but it's going to have to be inset just a little bit, so we're going to just shave a little bit off there, but no big deal. So I want to go ahead and get on the bodywork, let it be curing, and then go ahead and get on the suspension, and as time goes, we'll take a look at the roll cage too. So let's get busy. First up, we had to make a change to the mounting brackets for the rear suspension, and the forward part of the leaf springs had to be moved inboard just a little bit to line up with the rest of the frame rails, the new frame rails that we built for the rear that go around the fuel cell. So we moved that over. It did create a little hole in the chassis, and you see some sheet plastic plates I just put over that. And then it was on to rebuilding those leaf springs. If you recall, they were kind of canted at an angle, so we needed to straighten those up, so we cut those apart. And the rear end retainer block where the leaf springs go through, we went ahead and drilled the blocks and the leaf springs out, and you see the little pins that I made down there. So we'll reinforce that with the pins, and you see the holes drilled here. And then got everything lined up, ready to go, and had sanded everything just a little bit to square it up. And then here it is glued up, and I've got it sitting on a rat tail file, just kind of drying. I'll let that cure for a few hours. And here we have our chassis with them clamped down. We've got those mounted in the front. I have not mounted them to the rear yet. They're still loose there. I want to be able to get that rear end. And speaking of the rear end, you know, we did have to shorten that just a little bit, and I've got the wheels measured out, and we've got that set about right. So what we'll do is we'll get this in here, and as you see, we'll get that evened up, and then we'll get it glued up. And then I'm going to have to relocate the location of the rear shocks too. That's not a big deal. Instead of being on the outboard side of the frame, they'll be on the inboard side. And again, that's not a big deal, but I'll show you that too. So this is curing now, shouldn't be long. And moving over to the, I'll tell you what, let's look at this first. The wheels, I went ahead and cut the centers out so we've got a rim. And the reason I wanted to do that was because when we come to the front suspension here, as well as the rear, I want to be able to adjust that a little bit. So I took some of these replicas and miniatures of Maryland brake drums, and that's what they ran back then. And we'll be drilling out for that brass pin that'll go in those. But as you see, they fit beautifully in there. So that's going to give it a cool look. The roll cage, I went ahead and I started scuffing and working down some of the inside. And what I did was, this is from one of those bagged kits, one of those glue bombs that you can get at the shows. And I've already cut the sidebars away because I wanted to have the sidebars visible. So I've cut those away, and I've got those a little modified, and a little bit more to go here, as you see. I'm going to be building the up parts that come around to the top that'll fit in line with the A-pillar and the top of the body. But I've cut these down where they will fit. You see that little riser there that we did. So we've got that made to where that'll go right down on that. You see the little mark there where we marked that up. And because of the dash, we're building around that, so we're having to reshape the roll bars a little bit, and that's no big deal. Part of the fun of doing it, guys. And that's probably about all off of this old thing I'll probably use. I may use a couple pieces off of it, but I think it's coming along pretty nicely. The body, as you see here, we got that nice and blocked back off. Give it its last coat. Hopefully this will be the last coat of primer, and then we're going to try to get some color on it. Don't know if we'll get it in this video after all, but going to get that final primer coat, and then we'll take a look at it depending on how much time we have left. I don't want these videos getting too drug out and too long, but these should be cured pretty soon, and then I don't know if I'm going to make shocks or use the kit shocks yet, but as you see, everything's lined up pretty well. We'll get all this stuff mounted down. I think that's it at the moment. I'm looking around. I think that's it right now. Okay, all right, we're going to get back on rebuilding some of that roll cage and working on the interior a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, guys, our rear suspension is installed along with the rear differential. Everything is in there with the exception of the shocks, and I was going to do a test fit on those. We're going to go ahead and get some color on these, but the shocks, I have looked everywhere for those things. Usually I keep everything in a project box. As I'm starting to work on a project, every aftermarket product, every item from the kit, other kits, whatever I'm kit bashing, things like that, I put in one box. And I have searched that box all over. I've gone through the kit box. I looked at the sprue. I did remove them from the sprue, but I can't find the shocks. So we're going to be making a new set of shocks for the rear, and we'll get into that next time. But nice level. Everything is ready to go. So we'll get some color on this, and we'll make up some shocks and get back there too. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. And I went ahead and put the backs and test fit the wheels, and they line right up with the rear end. And see, they do not extend past the wheel wells, so we know they're going to tuck right up underneath those wheel wells just fine. So we'll get that done. So next time you see this, it'll be in color and the shocks will be installed. On the roll cage, we went ahead and used those sidebars, and you can see where I built in for that dash. We had to make some changes, so I had to modify the roll cage, which is no big deal. And we went ahead and used, I think it's Evergreen number 222, which is 62 thousandths, which measured up with the AMT roll cage pretty close. It was like 60, I think it was 65, but it's close enough. And we made our little crease there, and we drilled out and ran our bars up through here. And everything looks really, really good. Now, if you're wondering where's the rest of the roll cage, here and down, I like to do my roll cages even on more modern stock cars a little bit differently. And what I mean by that is, you see how the roll bars fit real nice and snug up to the A-pillar and then down the body. You want it to be more realistic. In a lot of these kits, there's a big gap between the roll bar and the A-pillar, and as you see here, it's right up against the body and right against the A-pillar the way they're supposed to be. And you can see there. And also, always test fit, make sure where your windshield is. If you remember in that Petty 70 Roadrunner, I had to trim the windows on the edges down a little bit. But if you allow a little bit of space for that, it's not a big deal at all. This way, they line right up, and I always make them a little long, as you can see the mark there, and then I cut them down as I test fit that roll bar to it. And let's get the dash in here real quick, and we'll do a test fit for you. All right. Well, sorry about that, guys. I'm off camera again. My mom gets on me about that a lot, and rightfully so. Okay, so as you see, hopefully you can see, and all I'm going to do is slide right up to it and lock right in. There you go. And the same on the other side. I'll back it up a little bit, and hopefully the light will allow you to see that. Boom, right up against it. And it is up against it on both sides, and my dash came out. Well, that's all right. We'll move it over here right now. But anyway, that gives you a much better look. And like I said, it just slides right up against it. And when we get this in the chassis, or excuse me, the interior and the chassis installed, everything will be nice and flush fit, and much more realistic to do it this way. But it's kind of cool, and it's really not hard at all, guys. Like I said, you just usually cut it a little bit longer, and then as you test fit, you just trim a little bit away at a time with your hobby knife. It's not a big deal. And of course, this side, these go right down into the, now I'm getting off camera again, sorry. These go right down beside the dash down into here. So looks good, looks good. And we'll get a little bit of paint on this as well next time when we get some more primer on that interior. And as you see there, I know the light's not that great here. And then you can see those bars through the back window there too. But I think it's coming together pretty good. Well, once again, we did not get our color on the body yet, but hopefully next time you see it, there'll at least be one color on it. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for this one. I don't want this video to get out of hand and too long, too, but there you go. So we've got this ready. I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to do. Well, I think a lot of it's just going to be some body work next time, and the rest of the interior. Oh, I am going to have to modify the seats a little bit, or the seat a little bit. When I added that roll cage, the inside bar here, and this seat from another kit, you see it doesn't fit flush. So I'm going to have to trim away a little bit from the transmission tunnel side so it can sit right in there. And the more I look at these seatbelt decals, they don't look bad, but I'm starting to think, I need to do some ribbon decals, or not decals, but seatbelts, but we'll see, we'll see. All right, guys, hope y'all have an awesome one. We'll be back on this. Amanda's got more done on her truck, and I just haven't done a video. It's not going to be very long at the moment, so I want her to do a little more before I do a video. But that's it. I've got some stash that came in the mail today. I think I got something tomorrow, so I may share that with you too. Okay, guys, have a great one. God bless. See you in the next video.